Yeah, I know my brows are a mess today. I tried something new, it didn't work, and at a certain point you just gotta say, F it. Hello my fellow makeup enthusiasts, welcome to another edition of Makeup Use Disorder, not an official DSM diagnosis, but it definitely should be. Never let it be said that I don't keep my promises. In fact, I'm getting this up a day early. Here it is, the review of the Violet Voss Hashtag palette, and this thing is amazing. As you can see, this has already been very well loved. My eyes absolutely adore this. This is their new lover. I'm gonna start off doing some swatches, and then I'll talk about the performance of the shadows, the wear of the shadows, and then I'll get into a tutorial. Yeah, I tried it again, and I think it came out a lot better than my eyebrow tutorial because I actually know how to do eyeshadow, at least for me. Let's just pretend that the eyebrow tutorial never happened. It never happened.
And here's what the palette looks like. It may remind some people of the Desert Dusk palette by Huda Beauty, only the purples in this palette, in my opinion, are far superior to the ones in the Huda palette. Nothing against Huda, I love her stuff, but that palette just wasn't for me. It may also look a little bit similar to the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, but to me, that palette was a little bit dull and muted, and with the Hashtag palette, you can actually do some vibrant looks. For the top row, we have the shades Fresh, Sauce, Savage, Goat, and Illy. I think it's Illy, I don't know. And these are all matte shades. As you can see, Fresh does not even show up on my skin tone. I haven't really played with Sauce. Savage is the color that I used for my eyebrows. Goat is a color that I like to use on my lower lash line. And Illy looks like it's kind of patchy, but it goes on the eye beautifully. It's not a black, it's more of a dark gray. Moving on to the second row, we have Truth, Lady Boss, No Filter, Throwback, and Lit. Truth and Lady Boss are the yellow gold colors. They're great for inner corner highlights, in my opinion. No Filter and Throwback are the more coppery shades, and Lit is a more bronzy shade. Moving on to the third row, we have Vacay, Goals, FOMO, Low-Key, and Living. Goals is the matte shade that you'll get in this row. And all of these shades just scream sunset to me, more so than the shades in any other palette that claims to give you that sunset vibe. These shades are absolutely beautiful, and I'm really regretting not playing with Living today. The fourth row is easily my favorite. We have Sunset, Relevant, TBT, Pretty AF, and Life. Life is my favorite shade in the entire palette. TBT and Life are the matte shades in the fourth row. The rest are shimmers, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Sunset is probably my second favorite shade in the entire palette. Maybe it's Relevant. Maybe it's TBT. I don't know. I love this row. It's so pretty.
In terms of performance, I will say that they stay put. I do use a primer. I use Glitter Fix by Glamour Eyes. That is my favorite primer. I'll put a picture and a link down below. They blend very well, but they do not blend too well. Do you guys know what I'm saying when I say too well? Have you ever had shadows that blend so well that you don't get that distinction when you're trying to use more than one color? Now, obviously, I don't want a choppy look where I have pink here and then a hard line. I want them to blend, but I don't want them to muddy. And these guys definitely do not muddy. Now we'll be moving on to the tutorial. Oh, don't be scared. I really do think that it came out better than the eyebrow tutorial. I burped. But I do need to warn you that I do not do my eyeshadow properly. I have my own way of doing things. I have deep set eyes. I have low hanging cave womanish eyebrows. And so I've had to adjust. And with any tutorial, anytime you watch a tutorial, even if it's somebody who's got mad skills, which I obviously don't, I don't claim to. I don't claim to be a makeup artist. I just claim to be a makeup lover. It is very rare, if not unheard of, for someone to be able to watch a tutorial and do exactly the same steps, use exactly the same shades, exactly the same tools, and get the exact same look. Because everyone's eye shape is different. Sometimes dramatically different. So please bear that in mind. I'm using the SUVA Hydra liner in Aztec to define my eyes.
I like to pre-line with Hydra liner because it helps me position the lash band, it doesn't smudge, and since I'm not lining over powder, this will go on smoothly. Because my skin is more mature, pre-existing product on the lids tends to make even the smoothest and creamiest liners skip, especially on the wing. I'm using the IT Cosmetics Eyelift in a Tube Concealer and applying with a MAC 231, that's the baby sister of the 242. This is not to cut the crease, but to give me less lid space. This is because I have a heavy, hovering, cave-womanish brow bone, and if I take the shadow up too far, I tend to look squinty and angry, so we're trying to keep it a little bit smaller. I'm packing the shade Goals onto my little eyelid with a generic brush similar to MAC 242. Now I'm using the shade Truth for my inner corner highlight. Dipping into the shade Illy, I'm creating an outer V. I have deep set eyes, so there's no need to deepen my crease. I don't care what anyone says, deepening my already deep set eyes makes me look like a fucking ghoul, so I don't do it. I'm using the shimmer shade FOMO to give my lid a little bit of levity, where it normally hides in the shadow of my hovering brow. Don't worry, I've got a lot more blending to do. Using Savage, I'm dotting some color on the outer V to blow out the look and soften up the dark V shade. I'm using the shade Fresh to help everything blend together. I find that using a light shade last works better for me than using a base color or a transition shade, but that's just a personal preference. Now with Goat, greatest of all time, I'm using that to smoke out the lower lash line. Finally, I'm going over that dark purple liner with a black liquid liner from BH Cosmetics. Since I already have liner on, the black liner isn't obviously skipping on my powdered crepey eyelid. And once I grab my lashes, we'll be done.
So here is the finished look for Blue Eyes in all its questionable glory. I'm sorry, I have to show you guys what I'm seeing out the window. No, it's not the mail.
There are icicles on my bush! I can't remember the last time I saw these things in the real world. I love cold weather and this makes me so happy.
I'm not entirely certain how well the camera is picking up the colors, and I'm in natural light right now. You would think that would be good. I don't know, I can't tell, so I'm gonna insert some photos. Before I get into the green eye tutorial, I want to show you the t-shirt that came in the mail. I love it! Anybody else a Game of Thrones fans? Comment down below. Let's talk Thrones, because I'm a geek. Also, I am giving the By Terry lipstick in Hello, I'm Sick. I don't know what the actual shade name is, but this nude lipstick, I'm actually giving it another chance. Don't know. I'm just not used to wearing this color, but I am giving it a chance, and I'm not hating it.
All of the preliminary steps are exactly the same as they were last time, so let's go ahead and skip ahead to what's different. I'm dipping into TBT, and I'm just going to pack that onto my lid just like I did with Goals for the Blue Eye tutorial. Now, a lot of people think that you need purple to make green eyes really pop. I personally think that pink shades do the trick just as well, if not better. Last time, I forgot to give credit to this incredible brush. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour Brush. You use the fluffy end for blending and the pointy end for detail work. This time, I'm using FOMO for my inner corner highlight. Now, I know a lot of people will say that I do the eyeshadow steps out of order. Believe me, I have heard that before. Now, I have been using eyeshadow for years and years, decades actually, and I have found that doing the steps in this particular order works the best for me personally. You do whatever you want to do, boo. Now I'm grabbing life by the balls and I'm going to put her in my outer V. If you have deep set eyes and you find that you have trouble when you try to deepen your crease and the eyeshadow just doesn't look that good, try just doing an outer V instead of deepening the crease. I'm using Relevant to try to conceal the shadow cast by that hovering brow of mine, and also to get the blending process started. Once again, I'm going to blow out the outer V with Savage. I love to frame my outer V with an orange shade. I find that it helps things blend, it helps my eyes stand out, and overall it's a trick that I really enjoy. Like last time, I'm using Fresh for that final blending step. Now for a second coat of purple eyeliner, smoking out the lower lash line with some life, and completing the look with false lashes. Now we are done!
And here is the green-eyed look. Again, I can't tell how well the camera is picking it up. I did try to take some photos. They did not come out quite as nice as the ones that I took yesterday. I don't know if that's because of the lighting, or if that's because I'm having a much worse skin day today than I was having yesterday, or if my makeup was just better yesterday, but I'll go ahead and put them in. This is $45 on Sephora and on the Violet Voss website. I don't believe that they have a sale going on. I know that they did have a sale going on and I got really excited, and the sale excluded this. So I ended up buying it on Sephora. I haven't broken down the cost per gram. Personally, I don't give a rat's ass about that because, I mean, seriously. How much makeup would you have to pile on a daily basis to go through this entire thing? Like, ever? So I really feel like thinking about eyeshadow in terms of bang for your buck is kind of pointless, but I will do the math and I will put it up here. That wraps it up for this review of the Violet Voss Hashtag palette. As usual, if you are watching this on the pot, very special shout out to you. And that's the end of the video. If you don't follow me, if you don't really have any interest in my future plans, but if you do follow me and you are interested in what I'm going to be doing in the future, stay tuned because I'm going to talk about that. First of all, I have a whole series planned called Lainey Loves Lashes, where I'm going to be talking about false lashes. I'm going to be talking about the right false lash for your eye shape. I'm going to be and I'll be showing you some piss-awful lash looks, and I will also be showing you my favorite lash looks. In that series, I will also be featuring comparisons between maybe drugstore mascaras and higher-end mascaras. The first one that I have planned is between the L'Oreal, I think it's the L'Oreal Voluminous, in the cobalt blue, and the new YSL mascara that also comes in cobalt blue. I'm not sure what the shade name is. I don't have it yet. It's coming to me. It will be here soon. And so as soon as I have both of those, then I will do a comparison between the drugstore L'Oreal and the high-end YSL. That really is the end, so shout out if you're on the pot, Mom. And until next time, stay adorably obsessed with makeup.